Hi everyone, I'm closing out 2019 with a benchmark of one of my favorite games of the 2010s, Simcity 2013. We're going to gloss over the fact that that isn't the logo of Simcity 2013. In all seriousness though, I could probably write a dissertation about how Simcity 2013 was ahead of its time and we were all just plebs, which eventually saw Maxis get disbanded. What are they? An early 2000s nu metal band who only knows how to play power chords? I'm looking at you, indie band run by one guy who played one show for his family and then self-released 3 albums over the course of 15 years. Oh wait, that me. Okay, so moving on. I mean, I still blame EA for the mismanagement of that studio and game, since the Glassbox engine was pretty impressive for what it was. I would also like to remind you that we have so many single-player games right now which require an active internet connection. Why does any Need for Speed game that isn't the fantastic Need for Speed World, please resurrect EA, I mean I won't spend any money but I'll play it, require an active internet connection for friends? Who has friends? So on to the actual benchmarks. Like my previous video, I'm running Simcity 2013 latest patch version because EA supported this game for a long time. I mean, credit where credit is due. The servers are still up for online play. I am using my Ryzen 2700x along with 8GB of DDR4 2100Ti RAM because my new one hasn't been delivered yet and these Corsair memory sticks can't actually get to their rated speed with a stable system. My GPU of choice is the Zotac GTX1050Ti 4GB mini. I decided to test 3 different resolutions because I knew for a fact that we'd be limited by the CPU, so I wanted to flex my graph making skills, but then I forgot about this video and now I'm on a deadline, so I have to use the old graphics. The city I'm using has a ton of polygons, hundreds of entities running around on the streets, a couple major sizable buildings and over 100,000 entities to simulate, alongside the economy and buildings, whatever. I tested 720, 1080 and 1440. All resolutions were tested using the high graphics. 720p averaged 48 FPS throughout, with a max of 58 and a min of 26. The graphics was mostly stable with stutters between changing maps and wild camera swings. The same can be said for 1080, with almost identical results within the margin of error. The minimum started to dip in heavier up-close portions of the city. 1440 was almost the same with average and max within the margin of error, just like the 1080p, with the 1% and 0.1% dipping, the minimum FPS tanking to single-digit FPS however. This was most likely due to the wild camera swings across the map. All in all, the game was playable irregardless, though I'd recommend the 1080 so you could use the fancy filters that come built into the game. This is a simulation game and it is more CPU dependent than it is GPU dependent. Conclusion. Simcity is still a fun game. I enjoyed it when I was able to play it when it launched, and I continue to enjoy it every now and again when I get bored of playing Simcity SNES because I played Simcity there too. Remember, these are just for fun benchmarks and none of these values were controlled for. You could very well have a better result. However, if there is a game you'd like me to benchmark, send me money because I can only benchmark games I own. Don't actually send me money though, that was obviously a joke. I have a lot of games and I'll be benchmarking Darksiders Genesis next. So be sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon, hit the like if you liked it, don't if you didn't. I'll be watching your comments to direct my efforts on content you all would like to see. Thanks for watching and see you in 2020.